Welcome to part two of this special edition of Here's Why with Mark and Eric. In today's part, we're going to ask Eric about some more advances that he thinks Google might make in the coming year. So Eric, the knowledge graph. Big change in search in recent years. What do you expect to see to happen with that in 2015?
You know, I thought you'd never ask.
So I did.
Well, thank you. Now, we just recently published a study. We looked at 850,000 queries to see which of those Google would provide a rich answer to. And it was fascinating because they responded to 20% of them. To me, the number was huge, right? I didn't expect it to be that big. But when you think about how we pulled the queries, we did that by looking at Google Suggest, or they actually call it Google Predictions now, and Bing Suggest. And we pulled 500,000 queries out of those. And the other 350,000 queries were based on things like, well, we'd have a building place like the Eiffel Tower, and we'd fashion queries around that, like how tall is the Eiffel Tower, or where is the Eiffel Tower, or who built it, those kinds of queries. So they're all queries that we picked because we thought there was a really decent chance that they would provide a rich answer result. So 20%, well, I thought it was much higher than we expected. It's actually still pretty low compared to where I expect them to get. So I think they're going to put a lot of effort into driving that up. You might see 30, 40% by the end of the year.
Wow. Well, you can see the full results of that study in the links below. So Eric, it's going to take a lot of resources, I imagine, to bring the kind of improvements that you expect to see in the growth. What kind of investments do you think Google is going to be making in that direction?
Well, I mean, they have a large internal staff already, and I expect that they'll continue to grow that staff. But you can also expect them to make some acquisitions related to this. Some of them might not always be that directly related when you see them initially, like some sort of artificial intelligence technology or something along those lines. But they will ultimately feed into their ability to improve the scope of the knowledge graph results in search.
Great. Well, thanks again for joining us for this special two-part predictions of 2015. Check out the link that'll come up in a moment to subscribe to our channel, where you can find this and all of our Here's Why and many other informative videos. And as always, any resources that we mentioned in this video will be in the links below. So we'll see you next time for another edition of Here's Why with Mark and Eric.